Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Bryan Olesen more than just survived the battle round on The Voice Monday. The Lincoln singer has moved on to the playoff round, putting him at the final stage to win the NBC singing contest. Olesen got to the playoffs courtesy of his coach John Legend, who used his playoff pass to keep Olesen on his team and move him past the knockout round that came after Legend chose Nathan Chester over Olesen after the Nebraska Christian rock singer and the cruise ship performer delivered a powerhouse R&B drenched take on Adele's Roland in the battle that was to have eliminated one of them from the competition. All of the coaches were amazed by the performance of the duo, who said in a Facebook post became friends while they work with Legend and rehearse together, and none voiced their opinion as to who Legend should choose as the winner. Bryan versus Nathan, two powerful vocalists. I chose Nathan because he's incredible. I couldn't see him going home. Nathan's voice is so powerful. He sings with such passion. I love the melodic choices he was making, and I have a feeling both of these guys are going to go far. But before Legend had finished, coaches Reba McEntire and Dan She hit their steel buttons for a chance to work with Olesen. We were not going to let a voice or talent like that lead this show, that quickly said Dan. Smurs of Dan Legend, however, responded, I've had enough, and punched the playoff pass button. Bryan got the highest honor I could give to anybody on my team. Legend said Bryan is such a pro, such a superstar vocalist, but he hasn't had that huge break I feel he deserves. I feel he can win The Voice. He's so good. The playoff pass sends Olesen, vocalist in the Christian rock band VOA and former guitarist with Newsboys, directly to the playoffs, the rounds when audiences vote for winners based on live performances, which begin next month. The date of Olsen's next appearance has not been announced in the vibrant, high-stakes world of The Voice, where talent meets determination. Few contestants have left the mark that Bryan Olesen has. The Nebraska native, with his soulful voice and magnetic stage presence, has captured the hearts of both the coaches and audiences alike. Now advancing to the playoffs, Olesen is poised to take the competition to the next level. The journey to the playoffs hasn't been easy. Each performance has been a battle, but Bryan's story, passion, and vocal prowess have carried him through the intense competition as one of the most unexpected rising stars of this season. His advancement marks a pivotal moment in The Voice, not just for him, but for the show's many fans who've watched his ascent with bated breath before the lights of The Voice stage. Bryan Olesen was a man of humble beginnings. Growing up in the small town of Grand Island, Nebraska, Bryan was surrounded by wide open fields, rolling PLS, and the simple joys of life in the Midwest. It's the kind of place where music often serves as a personal refuge, and for Bryan, music became a way to navigate life's challenges. As a teenager, Bryan found his voice in local church choirs and community events. His first performances were acoustic sets at coffee shops and county fairs, where he developed a natural ease in front of a crowd. Even back then, there was something special about him. His ability to connect with an audience, to make each song feel deeply personal, was undeniable. It was never just about hitting the right notes for me, Bryan said during one of The Voice's backstage interviews. It's about telling a story. It's about making someone feel something, whether it's joy, sadness, or hope. Though he was well known in Nebraska's local music scene, Bryan always dreamed of something bigger. When he auditioned for The Voice, it was a chance not only to showcase his talent on a national stage, but also to take a step toward that long-held dream of sharing his music with the world. Bryan's journey on The Voice began with an unforgettable blind audition. Stepping onto the stage with just his guitar, he chose to perform Chris Stapleton's Tennessee Whiskey, a bold move given the iconic status of the song. But from the moment he opened his mouth to sing, it was clear that Bryan wasn't just another singer. He had something unique. His voice, a blend of rich baritone and soaring high notes, caught the attention of the coaches almost immediately. The soulful grit in his tone, mixed with a smooth, emotional delivery, had the audience on their feet, and within seconds 2 of the 4 chairs turned. Blake Shelton and N.Y. Horan, The two coaches were quick to press their buzzers, signaling their interest in having Bryan join their teams. As the performance came to an end, Bryan delivered a final sustained note that echoed through the studio, leaving a lasting impression. The remaining two coaches, Gwen Stefani and Reba Mentry, followed suit, turning their chairs in a show of unanimous praise. Bryan Olesen had accomplished something few contestants do. He earned a 4-chair turn, man, that was incredible. Blake Shelton said as the applause died down, "You've got that classic country sound, but there's something new and fresh about you. I've been waiting for a voice like yours." Niall Horan added, "You took an iconic psalm and made it your own. You've got such an emotional depth to your voice, and I think there's a lot we could explore together. I'd love to have you on my team." Bryan stood on stage overwhelmed by the praise, but in his heart he knew exactly where he wanted to go. With a smile he announced, "Blake, I've been a fan of yours for as long as I can remember. I'd be honored to be on Team Blake." Bryan's choice to join Team Blake proved to be the perfect fit. As the weeks went on, he and Blake worked closely together, honing his vocal technique and helping him bring out more nuance in his performances. Bryan's ability to connect with his audience and convey raw emotion became one of his biggest strengths in the battle rounds. Bryan was paired with fellow contestant Luke Morrison, a powerful country singer with a similar vocal style. The two were tasked with performing "In Case You Didn't Know" by Brett Young, a song that required both singers to balance tenderness and strength. It was a showdown of pure talent, with both contestants delivering heartful renditions, but when it came down to the decision, Blake chose Bryan to move forward. "Bryan's got something special," Blake said. "He has a way of making every song feel personal, like he's singing directly to you, and that's not something you can teach." The knockout rounds presented Bryan with his biggest challenge, yet this round was where contestants could truly make their mark, as each singer had the chance to perform a song of their own choosing. For Bryan, it was an opportunity to show more of his artistic identity. After much deliberation, he selected a song that had deep personal meaning, "Colder Weather" by Zac Brown Band. It was a song that mirrored Bryan's own life journey, a story of longing, of being torn between home and the road, between comfort and the pursuit of something greater. As the music started, Bryan's voice took on a new level of emotional depth. His delivery was raw and vulnerable, as if each note carried the weight of his own experiences. The room was silent, captivated by the intensity of his performance. When the final chorus rang out, Rand's voice swelled with emotion, leading the audience and coaches visibly moved. Blake, in particular, looked proud, as if seeing a reflection of himself in Bryan's journey. When the time came for Blake to make his decision, there was no hesitation. "Bryan, you're a storyteller, and that's what makes a great artist. You got everything it takes to go far in this competition. You're moving on to the playoffs." With his advancement to the playoffs, Bryan Olesen has cemented himself as one of the front runners of this season's The Voice. His journey has been marked by authenticity, heart, and a relentless commitment to his craft. But more than anything, Bryan has shown that he is not just a talented singer, he's an artist with something to say. In the weeks leading up to the playoffs, Bryan has spent countless hours refining his craft, working closely with Blake and the show's vocal coaches to ensure that his next performance will be even more powerful than the last. There's a sense of excitement building around his potential as fans eagerly await to see what song he will choose for the next round. Bryan's story resonates deeply with viewers across the country, particularly in his home state of Nebraska. His success on The Voice has sparked a wave of pride in his small-town roots, with fans rallying around him, eager to support their local hero. From Grand Island to the grand stage of The Voice, Bryan's journey is a testament to the power of dreams and the importance of staying true to oneself. As Bryan Olesen advances to the playoffs, his future in the competition is filled with promise. His ability to seamlessly blend his country roots with a contemporary sound has set him apart from the rest. Whether he's performing a classic ballad or a modern hit, Bryan's authenticity shines through in every note. The playoffs will undoubtedly be a test of his versatility and emotional depth. But if his journey thus far is any indication, Bryan is ready for whatever challenges lie ahead. His passion for music, his dedication to his craft, and his ability to connect with audiences make him a force to be reckoned with. Bryan's fans, both old and new, are eagerly awaiting his next performance, knowing that he has the potential to go all the way.